I don't know if this works. I think I said that last time. Well, hello again. I've been preparing for this for like an hour and a half now, and I'm like, just enter this, and now I'm just like, wait, I'm actually doing this? Weird. Um, well, I guess I'll start off by saying that like I recommend you go watch the first video that I put out first. So the one that says type me Eric Stacy before you watch this video, because I'm going to talk about myself and my possible like type, which is not very possible, but which is very likely. I do want to clear up though in the past that in that video, I said that I'm very likely to be the part of the 2%. My self-type in that video is very clearly incorrect. At the time, I thought I was blast last. I'm not fucking blast last. Which is interesting to talk about, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about more what my actual last animal is. And this is both from the community, what they're seeing, what they've told me, everything from that. It's from what I've learned about myself, what now I'm seeing, putting the pieces together, realizing that like I had a 4-year tidal wave, and it's just exactly that last animal. And then lastly, from my parents, and it just gathered from the people around me. Great, that was some good blast. Where the fuck am I going with this? Okay, let's start off by first just announcing what my likely animal stock is. So if Shan is watching this, fucking incredible. Praise alert, but you deserve it. The new typing tool is incredible. It's really, really good. I think it's extremely useful, and it really illustrates how much you can get done with only 3 points. If you go on the actual website itself and you click, and now I'll say this now, if you click DI, because I'm basically DI, I don't think I'm lead DI. However, I definitely am DI. That'll be probably part of the discussion of today. And then after that, you click consume over blast, and then extroverted or info. Then you have the animal stock, which is I most likely a consume sleep, consume, play, blast, sleep, which at the time I made my first video, I didn't think it was that. I thought I was consume, play, sleep, blast. But obviously I have a really easy time talking with people, and I'm also mega extroverted to the point that like, I can compete with people who are incredible in the community like Gray, and just typically all the sleep blasts. In fact, I would put money in my own self-confidence that I could probably over like self-talk or just talk even more than them. But to be honest, if I were to actually simulate the idea of me talking with Gray, what the fuck? Like if my hands are like connected to the screen, I hate this person. I don't actually hate that person. If I were to like actually do a competition with Gray to see how long, like who can talk more, it would become very fierce. And I think we would probably both die at the end. But to move on, what the topic for today is, what the important thing that we're going to be discussing is primarily just processing the last animal. We're going to start off with sleep last because that's what I am. And then after that, we're probably going to move on to something else that's more familiar, such as maybe, like I could talk about blast last, but the blast last kind of pissed me off just because they're great, but like, God fucking damn it. Like just, when their tidal waves happen, it's like just the antithesis of what I want to happen and what like I believe you should be doing. Still love you though. Shane, you're amazing. All the blast lasts are amazing. You just, obviously by not doing your last animal, you are creating those tidal waves. In that sense, if you're blast last, you're creating the tidal waves with the tribe, which is what bothers me. Okay. Let's talk about fucking sleep last. Great. I was on the toilet and I was thinking about what to talk about because I think it's really important that you fucking actually think about what you're going to talk about. instead of just hopping in and then being like, hi guys, I'm here. I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to talk about. And I didn't think about it much. So I'm intelligent. So what I came up with on the toilet is that I first want to just bring up, and I'm like supposed to be in a demon state right now, but I don't feel like I'm in a demon state right now. I first want to bring up just the like the fact that I'm super codependent upon people, and that like there really is no security with my own self, which is really, really difficult to process. It's really difficult to realize. And when you fucking realize your sleep lasts and that you suck and that you have no idea who the fuck you are, even though you're DI, fuck. Fuck. That's painful. It's really painful because it's contradictory, right? You're DI, you're self above tribe, but you don't have any security within your own self. Hell, like you probably don't even know who you are, nor do you even know what you want, what you need to do, how are you going to do it, why you're doing the things you're doing, if you're possibly like an eyelash or whatever. Like all of that combined and then put together with the fact that you're a DI savior is contradictory to the point that it just doesn't align. And that like clash, I think it's more better to use an analogy as if it's like an earthquake. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I just want to like, what's the best way to visually represent it? I guess it's like misaligning, right? So, like this is how DI is supposed to be typically, like when it's normally good. Like if you're savior DI, this is how it should be. However, your alignment is more like this. That makes any sense at all? Probably not. And it's like, well, I'm supposed to be more like this because I am DI, but I'm going like this, which creates this conflict and this difficulty within your own self of like just it's not so like it shouldn't be this way. Obviously, like you're supposed to accept it, and I've accepted it at this point, which is very important to your own development. But it's still the lingering like anger and annoyance with how it is still there, right? Like I want to change the system. I want to like go into my brain and fix this problem, but I can't. It's just who I am, and I've already accepted it. However, it's still painful to have that knowledge. I want to channel change currently right now to talk about trauma and like, the impacts of trauma and how those impacts, like you move on from it, but it still lingers with you. It's like that. I guess I actually can channel change. That sounded very deep. I actually can channel change because I do think it's a worthy analogy. And the analogy is that so when you go through trauma and you overcome that trauma, the pain and the acknowledgement of what happened and everything that does happen or has happened to you is going to stick with you. It fucking hurts. It fucking hurts. Okay? If you are beat through your childhood, you're still going to know what it feels like. You're going to know what it feels like when someone touches you. It's going to scare the everlasting fuck out of you, and it's going to hurt like a motherfucker. It's terrifying. I personally wasn't beat myself. Sure, I got a couple of spankings, but I still have had really hard mental fucking effects happen on me. And those still like the knowledge that has happened fucks with me. However, I've moved past it. And so it's great. I'm over it. I'm over the summit, but I still know that experience of what it's like. And it's fucking like, it's painful to know what it feels like. I think I've just found another way to move on this conversation is that, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay on topic about the codependency part. Great. So we talked about like not knowing who you are possibly, or the misalignment with the DI. But how does this like affect the DE? So if you have sleep last, you have double activated T, like DE. And with double activated DE, the thing is that your savior DI, and yet you're like still subservient to the tribe, and the tribe is the number one thing. They're the most important thing. I'm fucking irrelevant. I was talking to myself a little while ago. I like looked behind me as if I was still there. I was talking to myself a little while ago, and I was basically saying to myself, because you know, sleep lasts, you have to explain it to your own self. You have to play with your own self to actually fucking do the processing. Um, that it's like, you know, to me, my perspective with the tribe is that, like, I'm a person. I am a human being. I acknowledge that I have feelings and that I have worth and everything like that. But I couldn't give like any less of a fuck. I couldn't give any less of a fuck. I just want to be fucking useful. I just want to help you guys out, make your guys' lives fucking easier, get this shit fucking done, achieve the shit, and be useful. If I'm not fucking useful to the tribe, then I may as well be fucking dead. I don't have a reason to live. There is no meaning or importance in me. And that's weird. What's weird about it is that I'm DI and yet I still feel this way. I like the importance is within me. However, that importance is going into the tribe instead. So there's this imbalance, or like this sort of balance between you and the tribe, and it fucks with you. Like, you know, when I'm not freaking out about the external world and how things are and why they are that way, it, it's just, it stays with you. And I mean, I've processed this in the past before, but I still come back to it, which is part of the sleep. And we're going to talk about this more later on. It's just, you know, obviously I've said that it's painful enough times, but it really fucking is. Like I'm very, like just, I want to move and I want to punch something. Like that's like what I want to do right now because it angers me. Just the way things are, nothing's bad about it. It's just that the fact that they are this way, that's that's the pain. I think it's important now that I move on to maybe more the decider aspect of what happens would be if you were sleep last in your FI, or not FI, if you're DI. Okay, if you're DI and you're sleep last, that means you're a glass lizard. Who cares about glass lizards? We're gonna throw that trash talk out of the way. It's not trash talk. Just the talk out of the way. The problem there would be is that now the focus isn't on like how and why the things are this way. The problem would be now on the people, which I'm actually going to have to process now so that I can properly blast it. There's this light right there. It's the stupidest fucking light in the whole fucking world. I shouldn't talk about it because I will rage about it. I'm not even processing anything. I'm just standing still. Dave's crying right now. Okay. So, identity first, but you don't have an identity. You don't know what the fuck the identity is, right? So your identity is the thing that you're freaking out about, but yet you're still like subservient to the tribe. And when I say that, remember that it's not like they tell me everything I need to do and I can't do anything that I want for myself. Not at all. You're DI. You're gonna fucking do whatever the fuck you want. The problem is that like you're still just really focused on being there for the tribe. It's all about them, and then the tidal waves come in for yourself because it's all about them. You're always trying to like help them out and do things for them and use them to like help you figure out who the fuck you are, which is going to be a further topic for later. And then also trying to like use that as a way to then progress and then use it for them to like learn about themselves possibly. Right? And by doing that, what happens is that nothing. That's just filler words. I think it's just the conflict of being a decider and not being able to double decide as easily and going back and forth on yourself and the people. Like I can do that. I'm very forgiving. It's really fucking like I legitimately probably can't let people go. There's people in my life that like, no, they're not trash people. It's just that like, why are they still in your life? Like they're not hurting you or anything like that. You still call them a friend, even though their life path isn't the best and they're not doing drugs or anything. It's just they're not the smartest and they're not very good influences on you. However, I can't let go. I'm not going to push boundaries or anything like that because it feels wrong. And I would imagine it's even worse as a decider because if you're DI and you're sleep last and you're like worried about, the tribe coming after you, great. If you're double activated DI, you have security within your own self. You're like, I know who I am. Like I'm okay with myself. I can make my own decisions. However, if you're sleep last, you make the decision and you're like, I don't even know if this is what I wanted. Like I don't even know like if this is really was the right thing. I'm probably spewing the same shit out over and over and over again. However, hopefully I'm making it clear that the problem with the sleep last in this respect is just the absolute lack of security. That's that's the core of it. And when that tidal wave comes in of who the fuck am I? What am I doing in my life? Why am I doing this? It, it's scary. It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. Like being alone with my thoughts, if I were to turn off this computer and just lie in my bed and just like turn off the lights and just not move, terrifying. Fucking terrifying. It's terrifying. Like, yeah, that's it. Great. Now we'll talk about using the tribe. So I mentioned before that when you're sleep last, you're going to use the tribe to process yourself because, you can't fucking process yourself by yourself. So who the hell else can you do it with? The people. Wow. Who would have guessed? Logic. Woo. Great. Now, the problem with that is that when you use the people, what happens is that with sleep lasts, we go over the same shit over and over again because we can't fucking learn a lesson. We just replay the same shit over and over again. We ask the same fucking questions over and over and over again to the fucking people. And then they come at us and they're like, why the fuck are you going through this? Just fucking sleep process, you bitch. What are you fucking doing? And it sucks because then you feel like shit and it just reconfirms who the fuck am I? What am I? Why am I doing this? I suck. I'm the fucking worst. I'm not going to kill myself. Just fuck me. Fuck me for being alive. trying to fucking do things for these people. And the only thing I fucking end up doing is using them to help my own self. To me, that's wrong. Right? Right. It feels extremely wrong doing that, like asking questions to other people. Like I do it all the time and I have to because savior is wee woo 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 woo. Don't do your demons. Um, because I have to ask other people to get validation. And I have to ask other people to make sure that my opinion is correct. Like I don't know if my feelings are good. I don't know if they're like real. I don't know if they're valid. Sometimes I just come back home and it's just like, well, guess what? I'm gonna be melancholic for the next 2 hours. Guess I'll die. And I was just having the best day of my life. Now I'm fucking standing in the middle of a waiting pool, just looking up at the sky, just listening to sad music. So wondering, what am I doing for my life? Thank God I'm a double decider. Shit would be very difficult if I was DI first. There's also the fact that like you can't even tell how people like see you at all. Like I don't know how people view me. I don't know like how what people think of me or how they view me, or, like what value I have. I have no idea of any of that. None of it. I know my best friend loves me. I know to death that she loves me. I have so much evidence that she loves me, and yet I still doubt it. I love her to the fucking ends of the earth. And she's not my girlfriend, by the way. And it's like I love her to fucking the nth degree. And I know that she loves me back. And yet I still fucking doubt it. Because why would someone feel that way towards me? I mean, nowadays I've come to a realization that I'm a likable person. I am a good person at times. I do fuck up a lot. I hurt people a lot, which is on me. I suck. That's okay. I'm going to overcome these things. I'm going to become better. However, like there's still that conflict within my mind that it's like, here's how I view myself. Here's how I think people view me. I don't know how to like properly wave my hands so that people can, like understand. Um, yeah, I think one of the really good ways to express what I was just trying to teach there is that in the past, I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd have a very big ego and I'd tell myself I'm very hot because I am. And I just like love myself because I've gone through my own hell. I fucking come out of that place. I deserve to be here. I've vanquished my fucking insecurities. I deserve to fucking be here. I have earned my self confidence. It's not cockiness. I've earned it. I've come to learn and love myself, even though I have no idea who the fuck I am. Um, but at the same time, I'll look at myself and say, I love myself, but why the fuck would anybody love me? That's what I used to tell myself. Because it would just be like, why would you love me? I don't know. What is there to like about me? One of the weirdest things is that when you have people ask you like, oh, Nate, tell me something about yourself. I don't fucking know. Do you think I know who I am? I don't know. Like, my bullshit answer is that if someone really has to like get me to blast about it, I'll be like, I'm Eric Stacy. I'm this person, and I'm just, I'll energy it out just to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so cool. And I'll go back and be like, that was bullshit. Yeah, it sucks. It all really sucks. Great. Now, how do you solve the fucking problem? How do you be better at being asleep fast or be at doing sleep? Well, first of all, you have to balance it, right? There's a fucking tightrope that you have to go between back and forth. And that's really fucking difficult to do. It's the same thing with your first and last function, going back and forth between double deciding and then trying to do double observing is really difficult no matter what type you are. That's completely wrong. Ignore that. If you're an IJ or EP, it's gonna be really difficult to do double observing. But what you need to do is that you need to build habits. And what those habits need to do is that need to be like directed towards the self. Like you need to do things for your own self. And this is how it works if you're DE too. If you're DE with sleep last two, you should be building habits for your own self. And I think one of the most conventional, easiest ones is simply just to take a walk. It's really fucking easy to do. You just put on your shoes, you go outside. I don't know like how far you need to walk, you just walk. And somehow you just sleep process shit. I don't know what happens. I don't know what I'm gonna sleep process whenever I start the sleep process, but I somehow sleep process shit. And it's great. It works, it does the job, and I feel good. Then I come back and like I feel refreshed and I feel good. And I continue my life. There's a lot of other things that you can do, like exercising is a big one. Showering is another really good one. If you take a long hot shower, obviously you're going to be using like water and money and blah blah blah. However, if you just sit in there and just like get in the alpha state or whatever they call it, that like how your mind works in a hot shower, you're going to start sleep processing shit a lot more, and that's going to be very useful. It's very difficult to fucking do it, like actually get yourself in there, because 90% of the time it's like, I don't want to go in, blah blah blah. But you go in there and you do it anyways. What else? I was blasting about people like what to do. Um, I think just like once again, do things for your own self. So give yourself breaks. If you're surrounded by people all the time, force yourself to retreat and go by yourself. Go by yourself. You can do the consume, sure, whatever. But what you should really do is just go there and just maybe just eat or just take a break to let yourself just gather in what you fucking like done that day. Just let everything collect within your own self. Just slow it down. I think that's a really good conclusion to come with sleep is that the thing with sleep is, obviously you guys talk about this, Dave and Chen, is that we're fucking machines. I mean, the non-consumed first sleep lasts 90% of the time, or like 100% of the time, yeah, they're fucking like machines. However, myself, I feel like it's like I'm doing everything to avoid the sleep and consume as part of that. So I'll just consume and like information endlessly, which isn't useful at all and doesn't feel good at all to avoid the sleep. So it's still doing something, but it's not like a good thing. I'd much rather be like blast place, like consume sleep, and I'd just like work my ass off and just never stop doing work. That'd be great. I'd love my life if that was that. That's a joke. Okay, that was fun. Good info talk. hopefully something was to be gained there. Nothing was gained, then it's just like, but whatever, you know, if there was nothing actually to be gained there, I guess, the correct thing to say is that, like, great, Eric, Stacy, you process your own self. That's what's valuable. But that still bothers me. Yeah. Okay, let's go rage about other people who are fucking stupid. Let's talk about consume lasts. So as a consume first, the idea of being consumed last is very difficult to process and very difficult to think of actually in itself. I don't think I have anybody in my life that is consumed last. So it's difficult to like actually like really like get a grip on it. However, I think the problems with the DI is still there, right? So if you're sleep blast, blast sleep, or play blast, and you're consume last, the problem is always going to be back again with the DI. And in this time, it isn't that you don't know yourself. It's just that you haven't gathered enough information to make good conclusions, right? Because you're just like gathering in like almost nothing. Because what you're doing is that if you're doing play energy, what you're getting in is that you're getting in information from the other people about kind of other people, or just information for the sake of information. Not information directly for your own self, right? Like if you truly love something, you would go consume it. However, this is actually probably a very good point. To a consume last, figuring out what the fuck they truly love, or like what they truly like think is the most like, I don't know, fucking TIs. What the most TI thingy mabob is going to be really fucking difficult. Like what's the most useful to them is going to be very difficult. It's the same it's the same struggle with the sleep last of figuring out who the fuck they are, even though they're consuming all that information in. The problem is just like just figuring out like what or why what's the most important for themselves to be taking in and like just absorbing that information in. That was just a bunch of filler words because I can't really like expand upon this enough because I don't have enough information and I'm not Savior Blast. Yeah. The thing is though, is that also if you're consume last, and this goes for all demon animal, like last animals, and I haven't talked about this asleep, is that when you do your last animal, it's very fucking serious. When we like do our last animal, it's supposed to be the most serious thing in the world, and it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. If I'm gonna go sleep process, it better be the best thing in the fucking world. Like I better have everything done by the end. It's not gonna work that way, and that works with all animals. You're not gonna do it perfectly. However, like if a consume last consumes information, that information's fucking good. That information is probably the best shit you'll ever read because it needs to be perfect. Like they're keeping themselves reliable on doing it to the best degree. The consuming itself will not be very good in itself. I said itself 3 fucking times there. Holy shit. It won't be great consuming. It won't be great to either in like taking in for the own self as a decider, or it won't be very great in like the actual information and the like thingamabobs if you're an observer, but the actual consumption of the new information and then taking it in, and then the blasting and the conciseness, the actual precision of the correct information is going to be very good. So to recap there, I probably sounded like a fucking dump truck and I didn't make any sense at all because I don't. What I'm trying to say is that when they consume, it's not going to be the most effective and it's not going to be the greatest, most efficient, and most beautiful consuming in the world. It's going to be really harsh, really fast, really antsy. Oh God, just give me it in. I don't want to do this. Fuck. Ugh. Fucking information. Picture Dave. Like that's how it is. That's what it's probably going to look like. But once they grab that information in and what's in there, perfect. Blast, perfect. Just going to blast it out. Bam. It's out there. Right? Ray was talking about this. Sorry for bringing people into the conversation. You can't stop me. Gray was talking about this because in her interview with Shan, I don't know if Shan is watching this, but your interview with Gray was incredible. It was really good, even though I was kind of distracted a lot during it, but it was a really good interview. Gray, like mentioned the subscriber count before COVID and then during after COVID. Timeline fucked up there. Before and then after COVID. And she was later talking about it in a voice chat call, in that when she consumed that information, it had to be perfect. It had to be perfect. She's not going to fuck this up, right? Because once again, like I was just saying, so when you do your last handle, it's the most serious shit in the world, and it has to be perfect. I'm now just realizing that when Shan is now blasting in the videos and the classes, the Q&As, and the YouTube videos, that blast is really fucking serious. Even though it's double masculine, obviously, sure, it's going to be serious because of that. But the point is that it's really serious, and it's like, this is the most important thing. I need to do it to the most highest level degree, and I need to perfectly convey this information. Right? It's the same thing with all the other animals. I've blasted this lesson enough times. Whatever. I'm sure people have probably fucking got it. I hope they have understand it. Because if they didn't, then I don't know. What the fuck else am I supposed to do? Great. Let's move on to the blast lasts. Okay. Blast lasts. You're great people. Energy, haha, funny. You're great. You can do the things. You're great. You're good people. Don't worry about it. The problem with the blast last is that when you're a fucking infodom, the conversation is more important than the actual behavior. The info is more important than the behavior. There's this very weird thing, and this is very difficult to process if you're either one, but to us infodoms, if you say your own, if you say your intent, that's the God King. The fact that I don't want to hurt people and that I want to do the best for everybody is more important than my actually own actions. Because I'm not trying to hurt you. Therefore, when I do hurt you, it's not with ill intent. And so then you can't take it as harshly as if I wanted to fucking hurt you, which, I'm not going to. But if I wanted to hurt you, oh, baby, I'm going to grab this fucking knife and I'm going to viscerally gut you, grab your fucking guts and shove it down your mouth. That's a really fucked up image to think about, but that's what I'm going to fucking do. I'm literally going to do that, shove it down your mouth, and just fucking embarrass you and kill you. Of course, this is why I don't like hurting people. You can probably figure that out. Right? However, with the energy DOMs, it's like you say something, I want to be a good person and I don't want to hurt people. And then you fuck up one more time and it's like immediately you're done, you're gone, you're ostracized, you're shit. Which to me, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You always give people multiple chances. You always hear people out. You listen to what they say, and what they say, what they truly show themselves or want themselves to be. That's the person you let them be. That's how it works. That's how it always works. That was an energy info conversation. Now we're going to continue on to the blast lasters. So the problem is that they just expect that just by like not, they don't expect, they unconsciously expect that by just not like telling the information, things will sort itself out. Everything will work out in the end, somehow. That's false. Really fucking false. You are the fucking one responsible. Okay? If you're not telling people the information, if you're just not like giving the missing information out, then you're the one fucking creating the problems. You suck. You suck. Please don't, if you're DE and you're boss last, please don't hurt me. I love you. Just trying to keep you reliable. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm gonna state my intentions, guys. Trying to keep you reliable. Okay? Trying to keep you reliable to being like a good person. Okay? If you suck at your demons and you don't care, you suck. You suck. If you suck at your demons, but you want to grow better, I don't care. You can fuck up as many times as you want. You're a great person. Back to the blast lasters. What happens is that there's this miscommunication with the information, which just stems all of the problems. All of the problems in the fucking world just have to do with them not properly communicating the information and just getting the point across and just really working together with the tribe. Okay? Doesn't matter how good you blast, you just need to blast. Okay? You just need to blast enough to the point that the other person understands. What I personally do is that I just blast until the other person understands. You can see this earlier in the video when I just don't shut up about being sleep last and I keep on saying the same shit over and over and over again until someone understands somehow. And it's like, whoa, somehow they understand. And then people tell me I'm a good fucking communicator. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. You're an absolute moron. How the fuck are you like understanding me? Moving on, back to the blast lasters. Okay, by not perpetuating and instilling this knowledge into people, that's where your tidal wave is coming from. It's very obvious. But the issue is that you guys fucking see this. You fucking see it. It's so obvious to see. If you're blast last, it's the most obvious shit in the world that you're the problem. If you just take a second to jump out of your body, just look around, think about it objectively, which is the point of our personality system, which I just love, I adore to death. If you look at it objectively, where the fuck are your problems coming from? You. Stupid bitch. Stupid bitch. You're the problem. You suck. You fucking suck. Okay? And then the issue comes is that, I said the issue, there's a lot of issues. Let's make that clear. There's a lot of issues with all the blast animals. One of the issues of being blast last is that it's very clear. Yes, it is very clear if you objectively look behind you and just look around and see that you're the problem. However, as Shin states in her videos, where she talks about in her interviews, is that a lot during her life is that she was playing the victim mentality. And this works for all of us. We're all playing the victim mentality somehow. And, you know, I'm probably just not like thinking about how I'm playing the victim mentality with my own sleep. The problem is that your victim mentality is way too obvious to others. It's the most obvious thing in the world. And sure, maybe it's the same for all the other last animals, but to me, it's so clear that it's like, I want to punch you. I want to physically hurt you. And then you know what I want to do is that I want to say, you see what I fucking did there? That's what you're doing to everybody else. Everybody else. You're just punching them in the face and being like, ha, fuck you. Like, I'm gonna fucking tell you the information. Stupid bitch. Fuck you. I don't want to. No, I don't want to. Fuck you. Who are you? Stupid dummy. Dummy. That was really mean. I'm sorry if that came like really hard. Oh no. I love you guys. I'm gonna push it. I love you guys. You guys are great. Just trying to keep you guys again responsible. I wanted to say I'm not a dickhead. I am a dickhead. Okay. So to continue on, last, really difficult time transmitting the information to the other people and getting them on board. It's not that difficult. Don't try and create your own problems. Keep yourself reliable. Let's talk about the actual aspect of getting things started, though, with being last. This is something I struggle in my own self, and I think this is something that people like. Everybody's going to struggle with this. Everybody's going to struggle with having a hard time getting started with things. It's always difficult, no matter like who you are, what kind of type you are, unless you're gray and you're a fucking machine and you have no feelings. God, I wish it was her. The thing is, though, is that with Demon Blast, and in particular Blast Last, the level at which it is to start something is incredible. It's like if you have to start something, it's like I need to be the most committed, the most like wanting to do it, and I have to do it perfectly. That's not it at all. You just need to like get a little bit done. You know, if I want to do an assignment, I don't have to do the entire thing. Just need to do one problem. Just need to do one problem. Still gonna fucking work on that one problem for 2.5 hours and feel like shit after, but it's okay. It's okay. That was really shitty today. I did spend 2.5 hours on one fucking problem. Felt like shit the entire time. But no, right? It's that no, it just has to be perfect. I can't ever start. I have to do all the other saviors before I can start. No. Push it back, push it back, push it back. But then you listen to like the actual blasters that are alphas. What it is just put the tools out. Slowly ease into it. Just get out of the bed. Just get out of the bed, get out of the couch, put the fucking computer on the table, walk away, watch another video. Then that internal conflict within your mind is that I need to get this done. I put the thing out. It's going to get to you. It's going to get to you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking do it. And you do it. You do any amount of it. You get a little bit done. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. It's just a little bit. This works for all the last animals. You just need to do a little bit. You don't need to do it to the point that you're going to kill yourself. You just need to do a little bit. Just tickle it. Just tickle it. Just a little bit, okay? Look at this eye. It's so like pissy. Yeah. I look normal. Okay. Great. Hopefully that was informative about Blast Last. It's probably been talked about to death. But still, the point stands is that you're not communicating the information, you're creating your own tidal waves. Communicate the information as painful as it is. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to tell them what's happening. Good example is that, if you're going to go out for a run, you can just like go to your parents, be like, hey, mom and dad, I'm going out for a run, and just leave. They don't need to have all the other information. They just need to know that you're running. Don't just walk out straight out of the door, because then they're not going to know where you are and they're going to start panicking. You tell them, hey, mom, I'm fucking going for a run. And you just run, go out of there. She'll be like, I'm like, mad. However, she still knows what the fuck you're doing. She can't get mad at you. You told her what you're doing. You gave her enough information to figure everything out. Of course, the liability for you to come back from that run and not die is on you. However, you've done enough. You've done enough to the point that it's good. That's all you need to do if you're Blast Last, is just tell them, what are you doing? You don't have to tell them reasons. You don't have to tell them why you're doing it. You don't have to tell them like why it's important to you and why you think you're gonna do it. Just tell them what the fuck you're doing. Hey, I'm just gonna go get groceries. I'm not gonna tell them what the fuck I'm gonna go get. I'm just gonna go get groceries. I'm gonna go get food. Figure out why the fuck I would get food. Because I'm hungry, bitch. It's really fucking obvious. Who would have fucking figured out that I'm gonna get food because I'm hungry? Wow. Right? Not that difficult. Don't fucking let yourself be like this. Be better. Be better. Once again, the fact that you can be better means you need to be better. Period. Period. Okay, now to playlist. I don't understand playlist really, but they're info dumps, which is great. Love it. My thumb's kind of weird. So with playlist, I want to remember what Gray said about Drew, but I can't remember anything. So yeah, I'll think about it and I'll remember a couple words here and there from the video visually, and then I'll blast some bullshit. Okay, wee woo, wee woo. So like play last is kind of similar to blast last, but in a different way. It's the same, like I'm not sharing the info with the tribe. However, the aspect is that you're not aligning yourself with your tribe. With like blast last, you're still somewhat gonna align yourself with the tribe. It's kind of like vibe it out to see like, hey, where am I? Where am I? Like, where's the information at? Like, what are we doing? Like, okay, yeah. Well, fuck you. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. Fuck you. Nah. That's blast last. Play last is like, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. And I'm going to consume and sleep and like figure myself out. I know who I am. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm not going to align myself with my own information with yours. I am the God King. I am the best. I cannot tell anybody. I'm not allowed. And it's not just that they're probably not allowed, but it's analogous to sleep last in the sense that it's probably really fucking terrifying to align themselves with the tribe because it probably feels like they're losing something by doing that. The information that they have for their own selves, their own DI, is the God King information. It's the most superior information in the world. Think about the TI Blanky syndrome, my favorite Blanky syndrome. They have this incredible, beautiful idea. It's the most God King, most beautiful, perfect thing in the world. Why the fuck would they go to the tribe? Why in the fuck would they want to go to the tribe and see if their knowledge or their idea is any bit valuable? It's like getting ready to be slaughtered by like animals. I'm not gonna fucking go in the woods, go up to a black bear and poke it. I'm not a fucking dumbass. Do you think I'm gonna do that? No, I don't want to fucking die. That's what I think is analogous to sleep last. Is that same poking the bear, just like gutting yourself. You don't want to go to the tribe to gut yourself and just be killed. You don't want to be killed by the tribe or by the new information that you have to take in, which is going to invalidate your information. Yeah. And, you know, there's going to be this aspect of like, but playlists, they don't want to also expend energy with the tribe. I would feel like that's actually false. I think that if your play last, it's like, sure, you're responsible for your sleep or the consume or whatever, but that doesn't mean you don't want to spend energy with the tribe. Who wouldn't want to have fun? Like, everybody wants to have fun with people sometimes. It's not like the first thing that they want to do, but they still want to expend energy with the tribe sometimes. And if they have someone close to them, someone in their DI box, then they're always going to want to spend energy and time with that person because they love or they truly appreciate that person with their DI. The scary thing is when they have to align the information with that person, right? To tell someone that you need someone or you really, really rely on someone is like just gutting yourself and poking the bear. You're killing your own self. You're killing yourself off to the tribe. This sounds very decidery, but I would imagine that this is the same thing with the observers too. It's to bring out the information and then have the information just the cause and effect with the information is difficult. Yeah. Yeah. I sound so smart. Oh my God, I'm so cool. I actually do though. Like seriously thinking about this, I do sound very knowledgeable when I blast. There's a lot of confidence, it seems, in it, but it's more just I push with it. I give it that kick, and that kick gives the impression that it's good blast, whereas it's actually all just bullshit once again. Let's talk about MDE. So one of the things is that if you probably look, in my opinion, this does kind of feel MDE. And one of the things is that, you know, when someone who has double masculine blast tells you your blast has a kick to it, it's like, thanks. That's like really nice. It's a really good compliment. Like shit, that makes you feel really good. Because like the only way to get people like information into people's head is to pick up the hammer. I was gonna like hit the bottle like this, but that would have hurt. And you want to just fucking bash it in their heads because people are stupid and they don't take in information. There's no such thing as infodoms. They don't exist. It's all energy doms. Being MDE, I think, is an advantage. However, being MDI is also an advantage. It's just the different ways that they like come up is different. And I don't want to talk about them here because I'm not talking about modalities. I'm talking about animals. But yeah. Hopefully coins are clearer now. Lots of guessing in there. Once again, none of that blast was like good. I didn't like, I don't know this information. I'm just blasting out bullshit to like figure it out. And if I'm savior like blast, that's cool too. Makes sense. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel like I should end this video now here. However, there was something I was going to actually process, but I can't remember. So yeah. I'm catching my eyes. Wow, there's things behind me. Reality exists. Holy shit, man. I was just like staring intently at this computer and it's just like everything just disappears. And ooh. God, fucking looking at the physical objects is trippy as shit, bro. Oh my fucking God. Feels like I'm fucking overdosing. I think I will end the video now. So I'm going to end the video. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for listening to my horrible and bullshit blast. Hopefully nobody's been offended in this video. If you have, please let me know. That'd be great. God, the sensory world is fucking scary.